Hey, it's your boy Fred from What's Happening. I'm just seeing if you checked out Patreon yet. Ad-free podcasts, full video episodes, unedited content, exclusive merchandise discounts, early access to merchandise, vote, partake in community polls, and inspired content, access private chat, and minimum one bonus episode. What you waiting for? Tap in on Patreon.
Happy New Year and welcome to What's Happening. It's Brad. Hope you guys are safe and well and happy, and hope you had a great holiday season. And just wanted to give you guys an intro for this week. So this episode we recorded a while ago. So you're gonna notice that the conversation kind of just goes right into it. I think we recorded on like December 6th or something. But it's an interview with the guy that I worked with, and he and I were just talking, and I noticed that he had a great story, and so we recorded that so that way we wouldn't be bogged down with the holidays. So you guys are hearing this episode maybe a month after it was released, but here it is. Nonetheless, hope you guys enjoy it. Continue to follow us, leave us reviews, all that good stuff that we always ask for. See you guys next week. Thanks. Enjoy this episode. I got my brother Derrick Smart here. So Derrick Smart, he's we kind of somewhat work together right now. Y'all know from listening to me that I bounce around and I support a lot of different locations for my job, and I've been running into Derrick over the last couple months here. And just we just get to chopping and talking it up, and your brother's got an interesting story. He's been through some things in his younger days, and he's really turned it around. And when I was starting to listen to the story, now we're recording this on December 6th, but this is probably not going to release until early January. But the weekend prior to this, we're just having real life conversation, and I hear this brother's story, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa! Don't give me no more detail. Don't give me no more detail, because I wanna get this detail on wax and have you come on the podcast. He's like, oh yeah, I'll definitely come on the podcast. That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem. So here it is. Derrick, how you feel, bro?
Doing good, man.
Good, good, good. And y'all know Fred here, big time. Baritone Bay, as he often calls himself. What's good, bro?
What's good, bro?
Uh, and since this is technically y'all hearing this on January 6th, Happy New Year, or January, whatever date this is, Happy New Year. It's January 2023. Y'all listen to this. So we hope y'all had a good Christmas. We hope y'all had a good New Year. We still over here in the past on December 6th, 2022. But man, Derrick, I'm gonna let you just kind of take it away, man. Tell us from the beginning, who you are, where you've been through, and what you've done, and where you at. You can take the conversation as free flowing as you want it to be, and we'll jump in with our questions as we go through it. But the floor is officially yours, bro.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate being a guest on your podcast. Happy New Year 2023. This year, ching ching, baby, ching ching.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And now, like I said about myself, you already know my name, Derrick Smart, 47 years old, I'm an entrepreneur. I own my own LLC. I help businesses with infrastructure, and I consult and educate, try to help people, I trade the Forex, and I'm partnership with the company, and I'm part owner of a system that help you trade and get you, if you trade gold, silver, the pairs, oil, you know, you know, if you do crypto, my system that'll help you, do that, you know, single father, brought up three kids, from Flint, what I'm saying? I grew up in Flint my whole life in Flint. I graduated from the University of Michigan Flint. I had my bachelor's in social work, and then I went to Ashford, and I got my master's in organizational management, public administration, nonprofit and leadership and ethics. Um, you know, cancer survivor, had prostate cancer, been almost a year, cancer free. Thank God for that.
Yes,
So,
sir.
And just like I say, I ain't no silver spoon or whatever. I ain't no saying or nothing. Straight, straight from the concrete, hard knock. You
Yes, sir.
know, you know, um, been to jail, locked up. So it's just crazy, man. When you start seeing a lot of stuff around you, you gotta change. And like for me to start going getting this education, because I was in the streets hard, man. I was getting money. I had to, man. I was like on that Ric Flair, women, cars.
You said all that Ric Flair.
I was on that Ric Flair, money, cars. I had women, partying, had my own crib. Had got some people that I had like 10 people that I was rolling with. Kind of got a little, what you call it, not a gang, but like an organization together. Hooked up with some people in Detroit. Business wise, trying to help everybody get paid. Took care of had to take care of my mom when she got sick, so I had to take care of her. That's when I started, when I was going to college, that I got off the street. Took care of my mom. Mom's died. I was staying in one bedroom apartment, taking care of her and 3 kids, and working 40 hours, and going to school 4 times. That's a lot on your plate, man.
Yeah.
facts.
Surprised my hair, I'm surprised my hair ain't gray. Gray.
So let's take it back to the beginning, man. So talk about growing up in Flint, Michigan.
Man, it was good, man. The times, I don't know, like I say, we had Bree, met him, dating family, them my peoples, top authority, them my peoples, Scambino mob, DOA dead on arrival, variety of sins, them my peoples, my family. You know, that's when I grew up in Flint in like the 80s and 90s, it was real good, man. I mean, you had people coming from Detroit coming down there because the schools was good. You work Monday through Friday. You can get your money.
Yeah,
Friday and Saturday you party. Sunday you rest. Get ready for the work week. It was real good, man. You had a childhood like me, and Will talked about earlier. Straight. Milk crate game.
right,
You
right.
know, yeah, play football. I played, football, street football, like we used to play hoods, like Summerfield against Cook. We had to go play Gundry, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We did
Right.
that. Rode our bikes. Sometimes we rode our bikes to go play people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
it's
got a.
interesting. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go
No, I
ahead.
was to say it's interesting you say that Flint was good because I remember, as a child, my stepfather, his sister lived in Flint, and we would, occasionally drive up there, and we go spend the weekend or whatever. And I remember it always seemed like it was nice up there. I mean, I was young, I'm talking about like, less than 10 years old, but it always seemed like it was nice there. And then, hearing
GM.
that like, yeah, yeah, exactly. And then hearing that, a lot has obviously changed. It's just like, man, like that's crazy to know that, it flipped like that in, 20, 25, 30 years, something like that. Um, I wanna, you said, life was good, but then you also said that, you spent some time, behind the walls. What happened to lead you down that wrong path?
Bad man, bad leadership, bad influence. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? I only had my mother took care of my mother. She really wasn't doing what she got to do. So the streets was like my father, and then my mother was like different women. They kept me on my toes. My first girlfriend I met through one of my mamas. I call her mama this day, and that's crazy. And then my had to, then I had to raise my sister. Cause my mom was on drugs bad, dude. And it's just
Mm,
like the crack fucked a lot of people. But I had friends, their mama was on that stuff, man. It was tough, man. I mean, it was tough. And, And then I start, back in like the late, in 85, 86, 87, you grow up seeing the drug dealers, they got these cars, getting money, these chains. You like, what? Then they're like, hey, they felt so sorry. Like, hey, you don't do something for us because it was so bad for us, man. My mom and her boyfriend, they sold the refrigerator, and we had to put chicken out in the snow, dude. And then when the snow melted, the chicken spoiled. We had to eat berries off the tree, man. We was going to bed hungry, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Them drugs, man. My mom was fucked up, and people in the neighborhood, they knew. We used to go to people's house and eat, man. Felt so bad for us, man. And I'm like, man, and I was going to school and stuff, like, playing sports. I was, I used to get bullied when I was younger. It was my grandma took care of us. It was so bad when I went to Pearson. We had the whole school trying to jump on me and my sister for no reason, dude, because they did not like us over there in the hood. Even Mr. Span, he dead though, but he didn't even like us. Did nobody like us, man. We was, man, just like no leadership, no role models, nothing, my grandmama died. That was sad, but we got out that situation because that neighborhood was real bad. It was so bad they broke our windows and everything. Had to call the police. It was just crazy, man. All that fighting, all the stuff, real terrible, man.
Wow.
Yeah, because my grandmama, had raised us, because my mama, she wanted to run the streets and all that. Got with a guy that she was with that threw her down the stairs and messed her verb. She was still mess with him. I seen him jump on her. I'm like, what is going on? And my grandmama like, you don't want to be that. You don't want to be like that. And then it just was crazy, man. And like I say, but when my mama started taking care of us, and then they doing the drugs and stuff, she was addicted to that stuff. And you start
Right.
seeing all these people come in with these coats and stuff and pulling up in these cars. You're like, what? And then it's just crazy. And then, they got money, like, what? And they feeling sorry for you. They're like, here you go. You know what I'm saying? So I started looking at that. Then one guy was like, hey, you want to make some money? I say, he was from Detroit. His name was Ace. He was like, you want to make some money? He was making money. I said, I was like, no. He was like, okay. Then he felt sorry. He like, here, sometimes, see, my sister, he was like, he give us like a couple dollars, like 15, 20, 25 ones. He'd be like, there you go. Give your sister some money. And he was making money. He was making so much money, man. It was because like, the street I stayed on, you had other people. You know how business is, you compete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was taking their business.
I see what you're saying.
So I'm like, okay. So I just got, when I cooked up with him, just start making that money. Then and then what's crazy, I'm gonna tell you something. It's gonna probably mess your head up. It was a guy that used to bully me. He came up to me, messed me up. He came when I was selling, how you got to spot selling drugs. He came up. His name was Jesse Blair. I never forget. You know what he told me? He said, man, I can't believe the guy that I bullied and stuff in school or whatever, when I started to stay out and beat you and stuff, I was working, trying to do whatever, that a day that the guy I bullied selling crack to me. Do you hear me?
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
That messed me up, man. I say, and I felt bad from that, man. And then after all of that, really, I didn't get locked up for the drugs. What really got me locked up is when this guy tried to rape my mama and my girlfriend and her mama. And the guy was he was crackhead. His name was Butch Law. I'll never forget. He broke
He
the
putting
church
out
and
all them names,
everything.
ain't you?
Man, he did. Once you gone, you gone.
You gone, hey, shit.
I
Right.
mean,
We
hey,
telling stories now for
we
real.
just
Like,
we just telling stories, Shoot, ain't no disclaimer. Once you leave this earth and you got the certificate of death, what can you do?
Yeah. All right. All right.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
I got you.
And yeah, because yeah, I'm calling him out because he tried to rape my mama. So when you do that, yup, I'm putting you out there.
All right.
For real, you got to. So, we was playing basketball. He stole the keys to the house, tried to get in the house, and my cousins and them. I'm not saying their names. My cousin and them jumped. they jumped the guy, and they jumped the guy, and I jumped the guy, and what I messed up, I put the guy's eye out, knocked the socket out his eye.
Wow.
Like Willie D said, read these Nikes, but I had boots.
Mm-mm.
And then after that, I got locked up and stuff, and I had to really, excuse me, that really. And then when I got locked up, you start seeing who your friends was.
Mm.
Man, God opened my eyes. I seen the people. I'm like, damn, I done helped you, made all this money and stuff. You don't want to put no money on my books. You don't want to help me or whatever. Then I started talking to other people. I was talking to people that would never see the daylight again. And they, I was, locked up in the county. That 6 months I was in there. They was like, dude, you shouldn't even be in here. And it was like, you're too smart for that. And then I was hearing all these stories and stuff. And then I had one told me, he said, man, if I catch you back here, I'm gonna beat your ass. So
Wow.
I'm like, oh yeah, sure did. So, and then what's good though, I supposed to got some time for that. But God bless me. And I went to like Riverside quarantine, but I guess I did my papers. It was some kind of deal. You ain't never heard about that. They was like, well, you can go ahead and go to boot camp for 3 months and you won't get the number and all that. I did all of that. I ain't even get the number, man. You supposed to get the number when you go to Riverside. You know that.
Right.
That's called, and yeah, see you from
So it's like a diversion then what they gave you for going to boot camp.
Yeah, because I was 18. Because they were talking about 2 to 5. Then I was like, no, I said, we finna go ahead and take it to trial. And then the guy who I told you about, he came and he said a powerful statement, because they can say that powerful statement. But God don't like ugly, because the judge is like, how you gonna talk bad about this man? And you was locked up for armed robbery and unarmed robbery.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Then
go ahead.
no, you talk.
No, so
nope. You talk.
I'm your guest.
That's the best line right there. No, so man, I mean, it's real interesting to hear how it's interesting to hear you say, I had no leadership. I had no guidance. I had no positive influence. Everything was a struggle. We couldn't eat. We were eating the berries off the tree. Like you had nothing. And then, the first person to offer you an opportunity was the drug dealer. So it's when you see and I think it's important for people to understand that that's how, people fall in this trap. When you're in these situations where you don't see hope at all and you see one way out. I mean, what I'm hearing you say is that you didn't want to harm your community. You wanted to feed your family. You wanted to not be hungry.
And most important, take care of him and his sister at the least.
Right.
And
exactly.
what's crazy is your feelings get hurt when your life ain't right and you can't take a bath and stuff. And when I went to Longfellow, some kids, they was like, happy birthday. I'm like, whose birthday it is? They was like, we got a present for you. And it was like, here, gave me a bar of soap with 6 candles on it, saying it's for your health.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, but kids was cruel back then. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, folks think kids mean now. Hey, kids was ruthless back then. They cut you deep.
Yeah, man.
Man, it was crazy. It was just crazy, dude. When you got that and people know you struggling, Because the people that's teasing me, they parents worked at, remember I told you, General Motors. They was working at General Motors. You had
Yep.
General Motors out at Coldwater. You had the one over there on off Stewart. That was, that was the popular one. And then you had
Mm-hmm.
one on Van Slyke, Burton. You had that one too.
Yep.
And but you know what? What's crazy now? Some of them people, the kids, I grew up with, the ones that made fun of me, some of them dead. A couple of them was like smoking crack. Like I told you about the other guy. Then I seen a couple of them was locked up for murder, and it was crazy, man. And these same people that made fun of me, they like, man, I went to school with you. I went to school with you. And then when I tell them what I'm doing, they be like, whoa, it blow their mind. They was like, man, they said, I'm glad to see you. They was like people we grew up with, man. They either locked up dead or they dying. Like now, it's a lot of the people in Flint dying from the Flint water poison. That water ain't even
Yeah.
fixed down there. And that cancer down there is so aggressive. That's how I caught my prostate cancer, from that water down there. My kids got affected too. And I had to take care of them, but they, thank God, they good though. I had moved up out there to come down to Detroit to get better opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And
Yeah.
because I was working for Genesee County, like I told you, I did the Microsoft Unlimited. I was a teacher. I had to sign off people's unemployment, everything. I was certifying you. But after
Mm-hmm.
that lady did that scandal down there and they laid us off, and then, going to work first, and I'm like, man, get out of here with that. I had told casework, I said, man, I'll give me a quarter pound of weed and live off of it, then get this little 200 something dollars every 2 weeks in these food stamps. I said, it's nothing. I said, I got a bachelor's degree. She was like, well, you got to
Yeah.
go ahead and meet these work requirements. I'm like, man, when I said, I got to get the hell up out of that town.
So let's pull it back. Let's go through the timeline. So
Mm-hmm.
you you're in prison, and you're starting to have this reality check that ain't nobody really got your back when you behind the walls. And then beyond that, you got people in there with nothing to gain from helping you out. Nothing to gain, because they in there for life. And they're saying like, yo, like, you don't need to be here. Like, you need to take this opportunity to get your life together, right? So first day out, like, what's the plan? What you doing? Because you got a chance now. You done did your time. You ended up not doing as much time as you thought you would do, or you could do initially, because you do the diversion joint, and then now you out, and now you free. What's the plan? What's the move? And how old are you at
Uh,
this point?
um, shit, 19 years old.
Okay, so you still got a whole lot of time left in front of you.
But I still was hard headed though. Saying
Okay.
something else, ain't he? Saying something else. Saying something else. Saying something else. Because when I got out, it was messed up. My mother put my sister out for a guy. And I'm like, what? And she had moved with this guy that was beating her, and had to stay down there. Basically, she had to stay down there with them, and it was stealing her stuff and everything. And then
Wow.
nobody want to help her out. I was like, what? And then and then like I told you, then I was trying to get a job and stuff. Couldn't get no job and stuff. And then it was crazy. My homeboy, he came through. I didn't know nothing. He was like, man, welcome home. You know, we smoked like, man, I ain't know nothing about no blunts. Then he was like, yeah, Dre, the Chronic. He was like, the Chronic, the first Chronic, the album. I said,
Okay.
what? And then, he smoked 4 blunts and drunk some beers. Rest in peace, Deontay. Deontay William, homeboy. He came and see me. He was like, yeah, man. He was like, man, I came to holler at you. He was like, holler at me, holler at me. He hollered at me. He like, I know you struggling. I know you struggling. And then, I couldn't catch up with him. And saying something else, man. I had a suit because I used to go to church too, but I was still, what's the name? Man, look, went in my suit, found like $40 and some crack. I said, okay. I said, well, I need some money. When mom ain't trying to do nothing, whatever. I had the tether on. The old school tether, not the GPS one, but the ones with the box. You seen them before?
I know what you're talking about.
Man, look. If you go out the yard, it goes off in the
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah,
they call you.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, I was so scandalous. I pushed it. I put it outside. I put it outside the window so the signal could stretch because it was a sign right there, a legal drug sign. But I was like, I'm gonna sit here and make this money, man.
So
Starting then.
so that
Mm-hmm.
part is important to note because you just said you was trying to get a job, but you couldn't get a job, right? Now, what time frame are we talking about, calendar wise? We
Man,
talking
we talking about like let me see. We talking about 94, 95.
now, if I remember correctly, from my time frame, um, in history, I think the early '90s there was a little bit of economic struggle coming from behind the Cold War, right?
It
So
was.
because I'm young at this point, 94, I'm 8. So um, it's kind of hard. I can't help it. I'm a youngin. I'm a
Yeah,
youngin.
yeah, preach. Yeah, I'm feeling you.
But what I'm saying is that like I'm just trying to put myself and really trying to paint the picture for the listeners to understand where you are, right? You've been given
Hmm.
this quote unquote second chance, right? But it's already going to be hard for you because of the way that life is in the 90s and that point beyond that time anyway, because you just coming up, you coming up out of the prison. But now the economy is hard on top of that. So there's this regular amount of difficulty that's already out there. And then now there's this extra weight of difficulty. By the way, you still have the same pressure because your little baby sister ain't got no place to live. Your mama's in this crazy situation. There's nobody else trying to help you out, but here come that homeboy, right? So
Yeah,
I just want to like it's important that people understand how this stuff happens. That like you gotta eat, you gotta have someplace to sleep, right? Because what else you gonna do, right? And so you're in a situation where you like I need this money, and you get ready to go ahead and make another bad decision. So go ahead.
yeah, man. I mean, it was crazy. And the guy, my mom was staying. When I was, when you're on a tether, you got to be at somebody's house. And the guy I was going, he was drunk. He was a drunk, going through some stuff with him. And then my sister's boyfriend was crazy. Is he got in some trouble and owed somebody a debt and try to say that I took something from him. I'm like, what? I said, man, I can't even get out the house. I'm on tether. So that said I owed him some money or somebody want to pay him. It's coming down there. Man, what's crazy? Why the guy come and shoot up the house with me and my sister, her boyfriend, and my mom and them and came shoot up the house up.
Wow.
Man, I had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. But I'm gonna keep it real. I said, oh, for real? And remember,
Hold
I'm
on.
struggling.
Wait. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing too crazy. That's gonna have you messed up.
No,
We
no, 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 no. I'm just telling you, God don't like ugly, and
okay.
it was just crazy that something happened, and man, and it was just like, man, after that, and then after the situation, my grandfather, he was like, he cut, my mom messing up, so we moved from that street all the way to Piper, and then you already know what time it is on that. My clientele follow me over there.
Wow.
And, and I was trying to, and then and then I asked him, what's crazy? I said, why you still want to mess with me? Want to, do business with me? He said, man, he said, when you got locked up, he said, ain't nobody treated me good like you, D. He said, man, he said, that's why I spend my money with you. He said, you treat me like a person instead of just a drug addict. He said, you treat me with respect. He said, that's why I spend my money with you. He said, if I know people, I'm bringing them to you. And he was doing that for real. I say, wow. He said, man, this what he told me. I never forget. He said, you got the gift of gab. I said, what's the gift of gab? He said, you know how to sell. He said, man, you could probably sell a pair of pants if you had to. I was like, wow. He said, man, you good peoples, dude. He was like, I'm just gonna tell you like that. But he said, what you doing, it ain't always forever.
Wow.
That's dope. Still a message. It's inside all of it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Still, I mean, when you ain't got nobody to teach you, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to take the message from the situations. You know what I'm saying? You said you ain't had no leader, you ain't had nobody to guide you or help mold you.
Family was garbage, dude. Man, look, my cousin ran away from home to live with me because he didn't want to stay with his mommy and Jehovah's Witness. I made him an image of me, and he passed like 3 or 4 years ago. He passed. That hurted me. That was like my left titty. You know what I'm saying? Like another me. It was
What?
crazy, dude. Like I'm not trying to. Yeah, like your
I mean,
your heart.
Yeah,
I know what you mean. I
that's
just
his
think you ain't
son.
coming.
Yeah, because how I brought him up because he didn't know nothing, dude, and it was just crazy because that side of the family, my mama's side, daddy's side, my daddy didn't even take care of me. Man, my daddy played sports, dude. I was basically like a sperm donor. Don't you know when my mom died? I had to tell him like, keep it real with him. Like you talk to somebody like, oh, so you ain't gonna drop no money on your baby mama funeral, huh? I had to tell that man to bring some money. Dude, this my father. Man, look, you make good money. You a parole officer for the state of Michigan. I don't care. I told him, well, if you gotta lock me up, lock me up. But I need to bury your baby mama. I need some money. I'm broke too. We over here broke. Our water got cut off. I said, man, my job responsibility because she had no insurance. My responsibility is to bury this lady. You know what I'm saying? Me and my sister, and then we came up. We had, man, basically, I'm still the brick and mortar of the family. I take care of my business. I got my grown kids. I take care, but you just gotta grow up because people wasn't there. I told you, my mom, she wasn't doing what she gotta do. Man, my mama abandoned me and my sister for 6 months, dude. It took for my homeboy to be murdered on the porch. The house when she left us at, she was still paying rent. It took for him to die on the porch for her to come back home. Do you hear me, man?
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And people that take like my sister, it was a lady, she was real nice. And she passed too, back probably 12, like 20 years ago. She took my sister up under her wing. So that was pretty good. So I had to live myself. You know what I'm saying? Then I had got with my other cousin. He wasn't talking about nothing. I'm like, man, get out of here, man. So what's crazy? Like I said, when all this stuff got back up and stuff, I said, man, this is crazy. Got back with Ace again. Met him again. He was like, what's up? I'm like, I said, man, but hooked up with, but crazy though, this time when I got with him, it was some guys that was jealous because he was I was making the money, and they got so jealous. My mama had the guys sell out the house, right? These guys got so jealous and try to blame me on something. Man, they beat me, her boyfriend, and with some bats, dude. Beat us with some bats. Told us we say anything, they'll come and kill a whole family, man.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm just
goes to show, people understand what people going through on a day-to-day basis. Because you still got to walk around in regular life like ain't nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? You still got to go and handle business every day like ain't nothing happened last night. Like you ate, like you showered, like you went to sleep just fine.
And what's crazy about that, after all that, I'm like, no, I'm just good. I'm like, I just couldn't do it no more, man. And then I went on my way, started, remember, I just drifted all of this. This was past 94, 95, 96. So we getting really crazy. So I got with this lady and I had these kids, but the lady wouldn't treat me right. And then, and then back then, what really made me change, I ain't gonna lie, because look, after I told you the second time, remember I told you the second time, the bite of the apple, I got locked up. I got locked up again, like in 97. Sold a half a pound to the police.
Oh.
Yup. but I paid for a lawyer because I would have did like by me. Remember, anything within 5 years they slap you with that truth of sin habitual. So
Mm-hmm.
I got all my money, got a lawyer and stuff. Lawyer got me like I got 6 months in the county, but I did 3. Then after that, I had a son, and I was going to see my PO, and what made me change, my son started crying. He was like, he thought, and then no, when I came back, he said, I thought you weren't coming back. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? My son, he 2 years old, because remember, thought I wasn't coming back because I basically took care of him. I took care of him with the mama, did a lot of stuff with my son before my daughter and my other son was born. And so after I seen that, I said, I gotta change. Remember, I didn't graduate from high school or nothing. Dude, from 98 on to 2000, I still was trying to do it, but it's getting played out. And I see kids that I knew they was young, like how you said you was little. Man, they
Yeah.
was graduating out of high school. And I'm like, what? You know how time moves fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, mm-mm. So what's crazy is God just came. I ain't gonna lie, God just like about almost 2000, like 2000. Never forget. Partying and stuff, but God came to me and was like, gave me a vision, like, dude, I got a plan for you. Finna go ahead, you finna get your degree, finna get your kids, you finna you finna be a better person of yourself. So I got my GED. I studied, got my GED like August 1st, 2000. You know how you supposed to have your GED when you go enroll in college?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't wait for that. I just went to go ahead and do it. I said, well, I'm gonna get it anyhow. So let me go ahead and just start. So I went and
Okay.
started in 2000. And once I started going to college, that changed me, man. And people that was around me, they was like, oh, you going to school for the money. You going to school for the money. Man, all you gonna do is drop out, get that money for school. Man, I graduated. I got 2 associates from Mott Community College. Then I transferred to U of M Flint. And I graduated, got the Bachelor of Social Work from there. Then I just kept moving from there. Dude, I made the honor roll and everything. It was blowing people's minds. And they were just hating. They was like, I was wrong. And I was telling them about them. I was telling my cousin and them. And cause they was like he laughing. I said, I'm gonna make a prediction right now. I say, when GW get in there, it's gonna be tough. When he got in there from 2000 on in, you had the recession and everything. I'm not lying. It
George
got
W.
tough.
Bush.
Yup, G Dub.
Mm-hmm.
When G Dub got in there, it got tough. And then I made another predicament. I was like, well, I was telling him, I said, well, things ain't gonna get no better in Flint. Man, shut up, man. They were partying and stuff. They was like, man, you was right, Smart. They said, man, I gotta get up out of here. I said, well, I'm gone. And then all that stuff started happening. And then, as I told you, man, it was just people that doubted me. Like, man, I should have listened to you. They still tell me today, man, I should have listened to you. You live up to your last name and everything. But God showed me that. God has showed me that vision, man. God showed me that vision. Once God showed me that, I ain't selling no drugs or nothing no more. I got a job. I got a job and work. I was hustling, doing everything, not nothing illegal, legal. I was doing everything. I was working yards. I'm like, what? You need to do this? Working at KFC, Taco Bell, Arby's, McDonald's, just saving my money. Saving my money. Start buying me a car. I said, man, I got a car. That makes a big difference now when you got a car. Start buying cars and, just taking care of my business and taking care of my family, man. I ain't never looked back at that because I was played out. I worked at school. I had a job because when I went to college, I had to work study. So I was good. Remember, I told you, work 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I told you. And then in college, they violate the law because if you were a work study, you only work like 20 hours a week. I was working double because the boss that I had, she had an aneurysm in her head. So I had to run a department. And I was running like 12, 13, doing the schedules and everything. And the guy said, I ain't never seen nobody do nothing like that. And that made me popular. Even the president was like, man, he was like, I got to give your toodles. And everybody respect me in the department and everything. Yup. Then they got tired of me. They said, "Ain't you ready to leave?" I said, "No." I said, "I ain't ready to leave until I suck up all the money I can. I can get out this universe. I mean, out this community college." I even told the guy at the financial aid, I said, "Is there anything else I can do so I get my little grant money?" He said, "No, after 80 credits," he said, "You done, man." He said, "Shoot." He said, "I can't," he said, "We can't do nothing else for you here." He said, "Did you graduate?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Man, get out of here." Man, I was getting trio scholarships and everything, because when you getting that refund back, the grant money, and you getting them scholarships on top of that, you good, man. And I was working. So I was
Right.
good, man. Took care of my kids and everything. Like, like I told you, took care of my kids. Good father influence. That changed
That's
my
dope.
life. When God showed me that, it changed. Even, people's like, "Man, you changed." Look, when I started going to school, I had people that told me, said, "Man, I can't even hang with you no more because you talk white." He said, "I don't even understand what you saying." I ain't lying to you, man. I say, "What?" He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "You don't need to be around me." I said, "You knocking yourself like that?" He said, "Man," he said, "What I do and what you doing, it ain't equaling up to nothing." So he washed his hands with me.
Wow.
That's crazy, but it's sure you our people really is like that. You know what I'm saying? Like some people just really don't feel like they're gonna be nothing, they ain't gonna do nothing. And they say, "Oh, I don't understand you. I can't see eye to eye with you no more." And they distant themselves, and it's crazy.
It's crazy, but it happens.
Yeah.
So, man, let's talk about the now. You got some businesses, some investments, whatever you're willing to disclose about what you got going on today. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, man. Like me, I do, like I said, my LLC, we do business infrastructure, like I said, the credit card machine, we got intuitive books, any kind of ACH, anything for your business, I can help you with that. In Michigan, I can help you establish your LLC and then, do that. And then with the Forex, the company I'm working with, we got I'm partnership, so I got this system. The system, it do everything for you, and you get lifetime classes. They train you. You can get classes 2 times a week for free, and support and everything. You could do and everything online. Everything you do that through Zoom. Classes pre-recorded. Like I said, the system, it help you make money. Basically, the Forex market, that's a $6 trillion market, bigger than New York. And I tell people this Forex market, I said, "Don't you know the big three? Don't you know the big three invest their money in that?" They like, "Who?" I say, um, Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler, Stellantis. I say, even the banks and institutions, they put their money into the Forex market. That's why it's a big market. You can
Mm.
make money. The man, like you got a casino, you got chips, but in Forex they call them pips.
Yep.
20 pips can get you. It could be $20, $200, or $2,000. It's all on you. It's all about compounding. If you supposed to have multi streams of income. The three things I told you is passive, residual, and compounding. Bam, right there. Them the three magic words. You an investor, and you can just, like I say, I tell people you could do that, but you can learn like that, do that, and you get a business. They're like, "Man," but I tell people, like, during the pandemic, it's a lot of people I did help them establish their LLCs, but they wasn't they wasn't genuine, and they wasn't loyal to the principle of having that. And now a lot of them getting indicted, and they getting closed out the financial system because they lied and committed fraud. And I had told them during the pandemic, I say, "Man," I say, "They broke now, walking the street." I say, "Man," and they get mad at me because I don't want to give them a couple dollars. I say, "Man, you had 20, 30, $40,000. I said, "Don't you still got your LLC?" "Oh man, I ain't doing nothing with that." I say, "Well," I say, "I don't know what to tell you." I say, "Man, you had that money, you could invest your money. It's all about establishing credit. You got to get that credit going, man. All this, man, ain't nothing out in the streets now." I said, "The hustle ain't there no more. Anytime you got these folks out here killing your own customers with fentanyl, that's not being true to the game. It's not. It's there, and then you older now." I said, we supposed to be the guardians of the elders that paved the way for us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I talk to people today, because look, like campaign, like, I think I ain't show you the pictures. Look, man, I done talked to Big Gretch, Garland Gilchrist, Al Gore, Debbie Stabenow, that's my homegirl. Her, Gary Peters. Man, I don't talk to a lot of these folks, man. Sheree Tanadar, that's my guy. I just be involved, man. I be like, you got to be involved in your community. I tell them, they're like, well, my vote don't count. I said, well, your vote don't count. I said, I don't poll watch 3 elections already, presidential and governor, and I have to see them count the ballots and everything. And I ain't never seen them cheat. I have to watch them how they transfer the information and everything. And I'll say, okay, I said, if that's the case, then why Trump get it? I said, if your vote didn't count, why Trump is going to have the military go come to Detroit, Atlanta, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh, and them are Democratic black strongholds to seize the voters' machines. If your vote didn't count, your look, you have people die for your right now to do stuff. I told the other guy a year ago. I say, where you stay at? He said, I stay on 15 Mile. I say, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you weren't allowed out here.
Mm.
I say, the elders made it possible for you to even cross 8 Mile now.
Right.
Like when I go to Flint, I tell them, I say, hey, I say, like Grand Blanc, I say, you just couldn't go out to Grand Blanc. Grand Blanc racist. Still is a little bit. Clio, too. Mount Morris was like that too down there. I tell them, you was stuck at Flint because how the infrastructure was and everything, it was all about white privilege and power. Especially like my hometown, GM. GM had a lot of influence with Flint, with politicians and stuff, a lot of dirty stuff like now. And people had to speak up and fight for your rights.
Right.
But now, not tell them, like now, I ain't got no problem helping people, especially the youth. But I want to help the youth that trying to do something. I don't want to help the youth that ain't trying to do nothing. Because
Right.
like now, how these days going now, you got like that one guy, that one little boy. That boy killed his mama because she took his phone or something like that. You probably heard video game or something. Y'all probably heard about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, that's
10-year-old boy killed his mama because he wanted to buy a VR and she told him no, and she woke up 30 minutes earlier than what she normally do for school. And he killed her and supposedly used her card to buy the VR. And so now,
What? I
yeah,
didn't hear that. I
so
thought I
that
did.
so now they trying to try him as an adult. He's
Wow.
stuff like
10.
Yeah, man, it's 10 years old, stuff like that. You know, the leadership and stuff ain't like it was like when I was coming up. And then some of these elders too is the blame too, because they didn't, like my age group, they didn't set the precedent, but you have some others too. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: when you 50 and 60-year-old man, you got some Jordan on sagging your pants, like that's mental illness, dude. Mental illness is out here like real bad, man, and the community need to step up. Some people be like blame the white man. I say you can't blame the white man for nothing no more. I say that's over with. I said you got other. I say okay. I said, and then I tell them, I say, how you blaming these other cultures too? Our money don't even circulate. Our money don't even circulate once. They money circulate 2 and 3 and 4 times. I'll tell this one guy. I say you to my yeah. These illegals take. I said they ain't taking the jobs. I said they get together and put a pot of money together. And if they want to bring somebody over here, they pay for their passport, green card, and everything. When they get over here, they do like they was doing it in 1700 servitude. You got to
Yeah,
work it off, and people don't know about that. I'm like, you ain't
yeah.
know nothing about that, and I had to educate them on that. I say, man, look, I say you got to learn. I say you can't. I say trying to be a rapper, not even a rap. You trying to be an entertainment and play basketball cool or whatever, but you got to have something else because everybody ain't going to the NBA. Everybody ain't going to the WNBA. You got to invest into other stuff like teachers. You don't need no more. Like Tupac said, you don't need no more entertainers. You need lawyers and doctors and engineers and stuff like that. You got to go back and invest into the community, because if you don't invest in the community, that's how the community going down now. And then you try to self blame and all of that, and then and then it's just crazy, man. What's going on out here? I want to help the people that want to be helped, especially the youth. And
So,
that's my job, is to help people.
so to back up, you said you do Forex. For the listeners that don't know, Forex is a market similar to like stocks and bonds, but it's actually over the dollar or yen or francs, or so you're trading currency. And when you trade this currency, you can trade it up or down. So it's almost like, betting with bookies. You can bet the spread of it going up 10 pips or going down 10 pips. So to put that in a simpler term, let's say the US dollar is trading at 97 cents, and you can trade it to Swiss francs, that may be trading at like $2.37. And you can say that, okay, I'm going to trade this US dollar to francs, betting that francs is going down 10 pips. Now it can go down more or it can go down less, but the thing is, it moves fast. So when it happens, just because it goes down 10 pips, you want to be watching it, or you want to have stop set. So therefore, if it goes back in the opposite direction after an hour, you didn't lose out, because it can go back up 20 pips and you just lost everything put in on that 10 pip bet going down on francs, from your US dollar. And I mean, it's a lot more to it, than just that. You got to watch the candlesticks and the wicks, which is just terms for when you're looking at that line that goes up and down that you see in charts, like with stocks and bonds. That line,
price action.
Yes, the price action, it goes ups and down, it fluctuates. And sometimes if you can watch it correctly, you can tell which way it's getting ready to jump by, a couple of the wicks or the candlesticks that it makes as it's jumping. So, my question for you when it comes to Forex, you said you have a system, and the system does everything for you. When you say it does everything for you, are you saying that it reads the charts? Before we get in that too, also, I don't know the name of it, but there is a free Forex simulator that you can download to your laptop or computer, and they give you, I think, like $10,000 or something to play with to learn it. So if anybody that wants to play or get into it and just kind of see it, you can actually see it in live action and play with fake money. But go ahead.
That's you talking about? Yep. Demo account. A demo account. But with the system do all the heavy lifting for you and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't even, like when you say you can, because you can, like when you sit at the computer and you doing that, that's called scalping. You ain't even gotta do it. You can be, because you can be a day trader, a swing trader, or a scalper. You can do whatever with this system and do all the heavy lifting for you. You can, say for instance, you get in a trade like you just say. Say for instance, you in a say for instance, you in a Aussie and like you in a okay, I'm gonna give you something here, like the USD against the Canadian against the CAD, the Canadian money. Like the system, like with the with the training and the education you get twice a week, it teach you get the class and teach you how to do the system and everything, and and then the system will notify you too. Say for instance, you watching a trade You can even hook your phone up to the system, and the system lets you know, like, hey, I think it's an opportunity. It'll tell you we got a buy opportunity or a sell opportunity, and you can follow that, and you can follow that, get in the trade, and and work your magic. And remember, you got to take profit and a stop loss. You can even, if you can even get in a trade and you can hold your trade. It depends on what kind of trader you is, and you will learn all that too with the classes, with the free lifetime classes once you buy the system. It's good training, man. I mean, and then you do your own research too. Like you can go to babypips.com. That you can learn from there because you need to learn that. But if you get the system gonna help you out a lot. It'll notify you. You ain't gotta jump in every trade because it'll notify you like, hey, you got arrows at a point. Like what you like, you got different like trading view and all that, way better than trading view. It's way
Okay.
better. It, like I say, it's way better than trading view. You get an instruction and everything. You have a teacher that teach you. Classes is Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 9 to 11. You got Q&A and everything. Then we got classes, scalping classes, and we got scalping classes, and then you can take signals if you want. It's pretty good, man. And then what's good though, once you buy the system, you becomes part owner of the system, and more opportunities open up for you. So that's even good. You pay that one-time fee and you're good. Now you can get other tools and stuff, that's on you. But once you buy the system, you pay that one price, you become you become part owner of the system too. And then you like I say, get lifetime training and everything. It's really good, man. I've been doing it now almost 5 years, man. And I done made like what I paid for. I got everything that the company offer. It ain't even that expensive like that. Right now you got holiday special and everything. I have a link and everything if they really interested. But you have to do your research. Man, I paid for the system. I done made my money back about 6 times. And then, like I
So
say, you could get in a like you could get on you man you like it teach you how to trade like they got man you can get in from the minute all the way up to the month, but I don't get into them lower time frames because see people on they when you know how to make money and what times and days to do it, then like everybody like man everybody thinking about technical analysis. You have to use fundamentals like watch the news like the banks. You gotta trade like the banks. You gotta watch what they doing. What they doing, you follow their lead. You just can't trade off technicals. And a lot of people they just trade off technicals and don't use fundamentals. You gotta use both. But with the class, you get educated. And like I say, you get educated, man, and you really know what's going on. And then you get resources and everything to help you be successful in the trade. But the system is really good. The system is basically like what the bankers and the bankers and the instant bank institution use. They use that same system. It's just it's good, man. You ain't got to go through all that madness or whatever. You can go in like you do your research. You can go in and place a trade 3 minutes and walk away and be done. The phone will let you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? The phone will let you know. You can let your trade one and make money. You can even man, it's just good. And like I said, you can do demo too. You can trade off demo practice. But the word of but I tell people that when they get it, like I had a homeboy, I say, man, trade demo first because you got to have a strategy. Trade demo before you invest your money. The demo, that ain't nothing. You can trade the demo, and once you learn it, you good. He doing good. He work on trucks and everything, and he more like a swing trader. He be on a 4 hour and a daily, and he be in trades for like weeks and like days, and he make his money. You can do that. It's just good education, man. It's just a good investment because you're supposed to have multiple streams of income. Because while you working and everything, you can have that going, and then you can do something else.
So
You know,
let's talk a little bit about your LLC. You were telling me about it before. Is it merchant? Is it credit card machines? What was it exactly?
Man, my LLC, Smart
Hmm.
and Beautiful LLC, we do, like I say, we do business infrastructure and educate and consulting. The business structure, we help businesses. You need a credit card machine, AC electronic ACHs, POS systems like for restaurants and everything. Say if it's you do accounting like Intuit Books, got a program for that. And just anything that got something to do with business infrastructure. It could be um inventory, anything, any kind of basically software, anything you need for your business, technology wise. And it's pretty good. Like I say, my job is to help you. Like I say, on top of that, like in Michigan, I do the note. I do notary. I do the notary, and like I said, LLC formation. I do that too. Basically, I just do business infrastructure for you. So yeah, all that, anything that got something to do with a business, anything, I can help you with that. And I got,
Okay.
I have people that can help you with that. Like I say, I do it, but then on top of that, I have people that can help you because I have, like my LLC, we got contracts with different companies. You know what I'm saying? And I got people that can help you. You know what I'm saying? I could do it myself too, basically. Say if it's you get a credit card machine or whatever, you having problems. Instead of you calling, you can call and get a troubleshoot, but I can go ahead and override. I can override everybody. Or I could just be like, go ahead and do it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I could just like I said, that's the consulting and the business infrastructure come in at. So I do that, man. I've been doing that now for like I say, about 7 years now. You got to do something, man, out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just this is why I wanted to have you on board, man, because you you know 30-ish years ago you were heading down a not so great path,
Supposed to be in a graveyard.
and now here you are. You got your bachelor's, you got your master's, you got an associate's, you got businesses, you got side hustles. Man, if you had to say, if there's somebody listening right now that is maybe on the wrong path or maybe doesn't know what they want to do with their life, what would you say to that person?
Man, I
What's
tell them just what advice I give to them is just don't give up, keep trying. You know, hang around, be around people that doing something for themselves. Read books, reading books and listen to stories of like entrepreneurs like Zuckerberg, my boy John, Hope, John Hope, him. Um, listen to Master P. Tell you his Master P. Uh, my boy Will Roundtree. People like that, and they like anybody else. Man, see, it's on the tip of my tongue. My Warren Buffett,
hmm
Charles Munger. See, if you do read books, you get knowledge. You always got to admit, even Warren Buffett and Munger said it. They said they have to continue to read books to re-educate themselves. You have to do that, and then you be around people that's trying to do something with yourself, and you go ahead and you sit down, and you set goals. Write it down and set goals for yourself. Don't be around the wrong people because the wrong people, you won't go nowhere. Don't be the go-to person when people who come to you who go to you can't even go to take care of their problems.
mm
Build that foundation, build that mindset. Just don't make mistakes because these streets ain't no game, man. You got a lot of frauds out here, man. That's fraud, lie to you and everything. Do your research first before you do anything. Do your research. If it sounds good, be like, no, I'm gonna have to get back with you on that. Do your research and like I say, it's life is like this. You come into the storm, you're in the middle of a storm, you're coming out the storm. That's how life is. And get around people that can motivate and push you. Don't get all upset. A real friend gonna tell you what you doing wrong so you correct yourself instead of a yes man, like, yeah, and they even listen, they agreeing with everything. Now I don't want no friend like that. I want a person that can give me advice and put me in check when I'm wrong so I can reevaluate myself. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
People don't have that, man. I ain't never had it. I had to be like, I ain't trying to be racist. You know how the slave master is. We sick, boss. We sick. Damn, he's sick, and you act like you more sicker than the master. You don't want to be like that. Just educate yourself. Be around the right people. Yeah, it's gonna be days that you can be like, man, I'm not doing. You gotta continue good. You gotta go. When you make mistakes, L's is just it's a loss, but it's a lesson. Learn from your mistakes. Don't let an L just take you down. A L is just you just something that you learned, your lesson learned, and don't make that mistake again. You have to really do that. And just hang around the right people with the right mindset, because you hang around the right people, wrong people with the wrong mindset, you ain't going nowhere, because like they say, you are who you hang around.
Yep. Hang around nine broke folks, you'll be the 10th. You hang around 9 millionaires, you'll be the 10th.
That's right, man. Because I'm telling you, man, don't let people wool over your eyes, all money ain't good money. You gotta look at it like that. You just gotta have a strong mindset. You gotta be hungry. You gotta be hungry and committed to what you're doing. Like I was when I went to college, man, they was killing me with them papers. You had to do because when you taking like 12, 13 credit hours, man, that's full time in college. Then you got one class, you got to have a paper. Another class, you got to have paper. Then you got to have a test. Then you have so you just got to just keep your head up and keep moving and just stay strong. Stand strong. Only the strong survive.
Yes, sir. Well, look, brother, we absolutely appreciate you coming down or coming through. Talking about changing your environment, talking about how you changed your environment. No, this was dope.
Sharing your story.
Any websites, social medias you want to plug in?
I'm gonna leave my link, but if they want any information or whatever, tell them they can go to Facebook, Smart and Beautiful LLC, Instagram, Smart and Beautiful LLC, and then with your permission, I can leave the link and they can go and check out the system Simplicity. To check that out, see what they offer and everything, and come on board, man, and change your life. Entrepreneur stand strong, man. So if they need information, anything, they can do that. They can go there, or like I say, they can go. And then I got my own Facebook page. Find on Facebook, Derrick Smart. You can do that, or on like I say, on Instagram, DSmart222.
Yes, sir. Well, listen, brother, we appreciate it. Y'all know where to find Fred, Mr.Humble_beginnings on Instagram, Fred Scott on Facebook, Brad Robinson 86 on Twitter, Brad Robinson 1986 on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And then the show is What's Happening on all platforms. You can follow us there. On your podcast app, if you like what we do, you feel like we've earned it, please leave us a 5-star rating and a review. Tell a friend about our show and help us grow. Join our Patreon to get ad-free listening, to get access to video, and all of the other perks that come with the patrons. We'll see y'all next week.
All right. Thank you, man.